How will Star Wars keep General Leia's legacy alive? As excited as we all may be for the release of The Last Jedi on December 15th, we also have to acknowledge that this will be a rather bittersweet return to the Skywalker saga. The death of Carrie Fisher at the end of last year will bring an added sense of melancholy to what, sadly, turned out to be her final appearance as General Leia. And while losing her was first and foremost a tragedy for all the friends, family, and even fans who looked up to and found inspiration from the iconic actress, it also called the future of the franchise into question. Prior to her passing, Lucasfilm had suggested that Leia's arc would be one that ran throughout the course of the entire sequel trilogy, and her presence would only get bigger as the series moved forward. So now the question becomes, how can Star Wars continue with the absence of one of its key players? Well, actor John Boyega offered a bit of insight into the matter during a recent interview with ABC News. In the interview, Boyega says The Last Jedi will send her off in an amazing way in regards to General Leia, and adds that she's still kept alive in the franchise. She lives forever in a sense. Now those are some semi-cryptic but still very cool words to hear. Even if Carrie Fisher is gone, her impact on Star Wars was indelible, and we can't possibly imagine the series existing without Princess Leia, even if she's not front and center. But what could Boyega possibly mean by she lives forever in a sense? Well, given what we know about Star Wars, there are a few options. First, there's the chance that she'll join the ranks of Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Papa Vader and become a Force ghost. Even if Leia was never a full Jedi, she was still highly Force sensitive, so there's really no reason she couldn't, except for the fact that it just doesn't seem right for the character. Leia was never the silent stoic type, and she was a woman of action, the literal head of the rebellion and later the resistance. Imagining her on the glowy blue sidelines just kind of seems wrong. And while she's definitely a character who's earned her rest in the midichlorian-fueled afterlife, we don't think it's a fate she'd particularly enjoy. Now, freezing her in carbonite would also be a possibility for keeping her alive but absent, and honestly, we could see this as the option Fisher would have gotten the biggest kick out of. She was infamous in Hollywood for her mischievous and sometimes dark sense of humor, and she loved taking the piss out of her co-stars, particularly the male ones. And what better way to stick it to Harrison Ford for the rest of eternity than to steal one of his iconic moments from the franchise? But just like in the case of the Force Ghost, we just can't see Leia taken out of commission like that. So we think the third and most likely option is that she'll be given an epic final scene in The Last Jedi and then written out of the series in the opening crawl of Episode 9. Perhaps she'll be sent off to search some unknown part of the galaxy or go to lead the resistance on a planet that desperately needs her, but whatever it is, she'll still be the hard-headed force for good that we've known and loved for nearly 4 decades. We just won't get to see what she's up to, at least not on the big screen. Her adventures will undoubtedly continue in other media, novels, comics, cartoons, for as long as Star Wars remains alive in our popular culture, so in other words, forever. A fitting fate for an actress and character who have rightfully earned their statuses as true legends. Now, we think this trajectory will respect Fisher's legacy while maintaining Leia's presence throughout the Star Wars universe. But what do you folks think? Is there another way Leia could exist in Star Wars, and do you think the franchise can possibly go on without her? Let's discuss. Be sure to join us August 5th when my little buddy Andrew Bowser and I sit down with the cast and crew of the new show Midnight Texas. We'll have exclusive behind-the-scenes footage and give live commentary as we stream the first 2 episodes. Hit us up on Twitter with your questions using the hashtag MidnightTexas. You can get in on all of the fun this Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific on youtube.com/Nerdist.